What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well and staying safe. And as always, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to Contract Fortune. There's a lot of new things happening on there. We now have the PPE business that we were doing with Apex now affiliated with Contract Fortune. So those that are in search of PPE, all you have to do is go to the Contract Fortune page, and there's a PPE link right at the top of the website, and you can purchase PPE. With that said, 88,500 truck drivers lost their jobs in the month of April. Now, that was the statistic number that was given out according to this article. I think it was MSN.com. They put the article out there, but that sounded about right, 88,500. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but there's a lot of drivers who have been protesting in D.C. For cheap freight, different things that have always affected the motor carrier industry. Now, I tell people all the time that such as trucks go, goes the country. So if the drivers aren't happy and the logistical world is in turmoil, such as is every other business right now with what's going on with the pandemic, that's pretty much going to affect the country overall. But I'm going to specifically talk about drivers right now. The thing about Contract Fortune, and the thing that I've been saying about Contract Fortune, was if you're a driver, you already had your own business, you already had your own trucks. The thing that we were trying to teach prior to the pandemic was self-sufficiency and learning how to freight broker, learning how to become a government contractor so that you can add on to your business. Now, all of it is logistics involved. As a contractor, in doing logistics, you can, create your own supply chain. If you win an award for, 10 million N95, face respirators, and you know where to get the face respirators, and then you turn around and have the trucks to move those face respirators, or the accounts or clientele to move those face respirators, you can do all of that, and all that money can be yours, with the exception of breaking the money to the medical partner that you take on. But logistics applies to everything that is currently going on. You've seen me the last couple of videos ranting and raving about how, there were contractors getting contracts who really weren't in a space to handle those contracts. And, if you diversify your business as a driver and you learned how to become a freight broker, you now don't have to rely on any other company to get your freight. I don't want to say now is the time to try to venture out and go into a new business, but I think that it kind of sort of is. And this is the reason why I think it kind of sort of is. No matter what, freight has to move. If you take the time now to learn how to be a freight broker, as the economy picks back up and as things start to get started again, you now have a skill that will add an additional, $500 to $1,000 in your pocket, because there's nobody out, there's no broker taking money out of your cut of your money. You're brokering your own freight. With all of the drivers that have lost their jobs, first and foremost, make sure that you apply for unemployment, because that applies to you, and you should get everything that comes to you as a driver. But even if the industry doesn't hire or have an immediate rush of hires, because it's going to take, to me, it feels like it's going to take at least 2 to 3 years to ramp back up to having that many drivers, back out there. We're back down to, I think they said like 2010, 2009 numbers. I was still out there at that point, in terms of the level of drivers that were on the road. I didn't realize that so many more drivers had hit the road. But take this time to, if you can, learn the skill. Learn the skill of freight brokering. Learn the skill of getting your own freight, because you might not have to go back out there. No matter what, everybody's not going to be a broker driver, a broker carrier. And if you want to go into the freight brokering space, I recommend it, because the way it was broke down to me and the way that I've seen it happen since I've been in this industry is you can have 3 trucks which make you know, anywhere roughly between what, 5 to 10,000 per week. That's what the usual, you know, payout was for, you know, the average independent owner operator if the truck belonged to him. But then after fuel, putting a little bit away for maintenance costs, paying your drivers, you know, it doesn't average out to what it should be. You could have 3 or 4 trucks doing those type of numbers, or you could have 50 trucks that are going to do about $200, you know, dollars for you per truck. And you can do the math on that. And you don't have to deal with the overhead. You don't have to deal with the maintenance. You don't have to deal with any of it. All you are responsible for is making sure that that freight gets to the delivery point, which is sometimes can be stressful. You need to always be available to answer the phone for the drivers and the customers. And that part can be a little bit stressful, but you're in control of all of it. That was the biggest thing that I had to learn as I transitioned into being a broker was you have to be available 24 hours. The driver might have a mechanical. The customer might have a new delivery point. The customer might have a new, you know, set of instructions for delivery. So you always have to be available, but at the same time, you haven't left your house. So, and you're making the money off of just being at your house. So there's perks and benefits to being a broker. But the thing I'm saying is, don't look at what is a tragic situation. Anytime, you know, you lose that many jobs in any industry is a tragic situation. You're talking about guys not getting paychecks. You're talking about guys who aren't, you know, making a living doing what it was that they were trained to do. That's scary. That's a scary thing. But after you take a second to breathe in and breathe out and catch your breath and pull your thoughts together, collect your thoughts. Excuse me. Try something new. And freight brokering might be it. I highly recommend it. What you need are a bond. You need to register your authority, like, you know, if you or owner operator. On your own truck. And you need insurance, cargo liability insurance, which really doesn't apply to the freight. It applies to, you know, what goes on in your office. Those are the 3 things that you need. Now, if your credit is A1, the only thing you're paying for the bond is a couple $1,000s. Now, at this moment, you know, I'm quite sure nobody really has disposable income to say, all right, let me pay a couple $1,000s on this bond. And I kind of can, you know, I understand that, and I can relate and empathize with that. You know, the industry is erratic right now. But to me personally, you know, if you've watched any of these videos, I've been pretty much telegraphing what I thought was going to happen. And that's not to say that I'm some guru or that I know everything, but I know a little bit about this industry. And, you know, I give it 5 or 6 months for the wheels to start spinning again. Now, I'm not talking about 88,000 drivers. 88,500 drivers will be hired again at 6 to 6. That, again, I don't see it being at that level of work output, you know, at least until maybe a year or 2 from now, if ever again. But diversifying your skill set right now is what is important and is where it's at. I highly recommend taking a course with Contract Fortune. Highly. I need to schedule a time to teach the freight brokering portion of this again, but the government contract portion is in English and in Spanish. So the ability to take that course, there's no limitations. You can take it no matter what your background is culturally. You know what I mean? You can there's no hindrances. You should be able to take the class and learn. And I recommend that everybody learns how to broker, because brokering is a skill that will follow you whether you're in the truck or out of the truck. I can be anywhere in the world and broker freight. And again, I did a video about don't just think about trucks. Don't just think trucks. When you're brokering freight, they call it what is it called? Not freight broker, 3PL or I forget. I think it's 3PL, but I just look at everything as freight brokering. And you can do it by boat, by plane, by, you know, however there's transportation, you can broker that freight. that part comes in handy. You have to step outside of your comfort zone right now because of what's going on with this pandemic, what's going on with, the way the economy is moving right now. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. Now, those that have a hustle mindset, that mindset of by any means necessary, I'm going to do this, you'll be able to adapt to it. It takes a little bit of time to understand how all of it works, but it's if you know logistics and you can grasp the concept of how to get one thing from one place to the other place, it's not that hard. So right now is the time to pick that skill up again. And I would love for you to learn that skill from me. I feel like I know what it is that I'm talking about when it comes to brokering this freight and moving freight globally at this point. So I just wanted to do a quick video and, talk about what I witnessed in terms of the driver layoffs. I thought that it blew my mind that, that many people got laid off in 1 month. And I know it's got to be a scary time for everybody out there. But, as I say all the time, don't look at an opportunity as bleak, as unwinnable, because it may be unwinnable for that moment, but it can turn around. It can turn around and you will adapt to what the new way of doing this logistics thing turns into. So, again, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you go on the Contract Fortune website so that you can start to see what opportunities are available and pick up the skill of freight brokering and government contracting. I'm not getting ready to start ranting and raving on how I feel about government contracting right now because, if you watched any of the last videos that I've done, I'm thoroughly upset with some of the, ways I've seen people be able to get over winning, no bid contracts. I hope this thing is so cleaned up when it's all over, and those that really, put the time and effort and experience in, I don't want to say I want the no bid game to go away, but I just, I don't think it's fair. I think some things aren't fair. In life, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I've been saying that, and I've learned that my entire life, but it's just so crazy right now. The whole situation is just so crazy right now. So anyway, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to Contract Fortune. Everybody stay safe out there. Always thank you for the support. And hey, I look forward to seeing more freight brokers out there.